Why does the conditioned mind make you feel stuck? This is a powerful question, a midlife unraveling, coming into question. Really start to see where these feelings are coming from and what is the truth behind them. I'm Lindsay Elizabeth. In this video, we're going to talk about the mind, where this feeling of stuck comes from, and then what are your next steps forward. Because I have been there too, in the midst of my life unraveling, everything coming into a question, feeling absolutely stuck, like I'm living in tunnel vision, but not knowing how to name it, see out of it, or what even are my next steps forward. Let's get into this. First, the mind. What is the mind? You have this physicality. Sperm plus egg came together. Consciousness alivened that. That consciousness is you. You are that awareness. Within physicality then, your brain is a part of that. From that place, using the consciousness that you are, your brain then comes up with thoughts. Things happen out here. You literally grew up in the environment that you lived in. You grew up in the country, in the family, with the skin color that you have. All of these specificities out here, but the mind is then making meaning of all these things. Along the way, the mind is getting conditioned. It's just an empty vessel ready to be used by you as a powerful, potent tool of this body unit that you literally embody as awareness. The mind starts from zero, it's empty, it has nothing. Then, oh, that's how your mom speaks. That's what your food smells like. That's what this environment, the noises, that's what life sounds like out here. It starts to make sense of the things out here according to your specificities of experiences. And even more so, according to the energetics of what you are being to yourself and you are also exhibiting. So early on in childhood, these early wounding experiences take place and energetics shift. This is a fear-based reality. So you shift from the frequency of the potentiality of the limitless true nature that you really, truly, actually are into a distorted, closed down, tunnel vision type of reality. And the mind is also caught up in that reality. From the frequency of fear, bathed in the frequency of fear. And now the mind is making meaning of all the things out here according to the fear that it's bathed in, and also due to the limitations that it thinks is available, because that is all that it knows. The mind can only know what it is that you have programmed it, that has been conditioned. It first is a potent, powerful tool. So if we can clear up this conditioning, you're going to have a different experience. You're going to be able to use the power of your mind in a completely different way. Well, how can this help you in literally the real-time situations, experiences that you are having? Me personally, it was my marriage, my divorce, my life afterwards. It's like, how can I start to see where I'm conditioned so that I can start having a different reality for my own self? I can create something different. First, we're going to align with truth, align with truth, align with truth. Start to see through the antics of the meaning-making mind, which is then going to cause these specific looping feelings we continue to have and perpetuate, because that's what the mind's going to do. The mind is a record of the past, and it's going to loop us into this continual repeat experience, but we get joked by the mind. We get joked by the mind's conditioning, not realizing that's what's happening, because all of a sudden, oh, here's a boyfriend this year, here's a boyfriend this year, here's a boyfriend this year. Oh, and then it's a husband. Oh, then I divorced him, and then it's a different husband. We get joked because it shows up in a different form, but it's the same energetics that is using the different form. Because who I am understanding myself to be deep within, those energetics that are in place, I am then projecting that out here in this reality, but through the projection lens that's created a distortion within my mind, and from that place, I'm going to be experiencing reality in that way. That is a limitation that can't be bypassed. Every single thing is going to be filtered through that until we start to see that there is that lens in play, that conditioned mind, and we get to switch it out. This isn't just a simple rewiring. It isn't simply just do affirmations, speak it out, overspeak it, write it out 60 times, write it out 100 times. It isn't that. Because if we use the mind from the same installed energetics, we're going to get the same experiences. We might get them in a different form. You might get that thing that you're writing affirmations about. You might actually manifest it, but you're not going to experience the desired experience with that manifestation if you're still caught in the same energetics. When I say align with truth, it's to really pull back the veil and to see what is really happening behind what it is that we're creating out here, and how can we know? Because we're in some sort of experience of pain, suffering, wishing something was different, feeling lack, feeling squished, suffocated, stress, anxiety, questioning ourselves, doubting ourselves. And there's going to be people out here that are going to point fingers at us, that are going to question us, that are going to doubt us, that are going to showcase to us how we are being to ourselves. The limitation of the conditioned mind is getting projected out here into the reality, and that reality, because this is how reality works, it is going to be reflecting back to us what it is that we're believing. So this feeling then, to move on to the second part, this feeling then of being stuck, I am stuck in that loop. I am stuck in that constant feedback loop of this is how I am energetically being to myself, regardless if I'm manifesting this same form out here, or I have created a new form. Maybe I've moved on to a different job, a different career, but I'm still going to feel that inadequacy. I'm still going to be wondering if I'm enough. I'm still going to be needing validation from others. As I am projecting out here, and now I'm feeling that stuck. What do I do? Where do I go? Within that information of being stuck, there is something that is drawing you deeper into the experience of you. That invitation's potently available. Not everybody's going to take that invitation, but you get to decide if you're going to take that invitation for yourself. Because as you're budding up in that, the newfound awareness that you get to experience on your own behalf is literally what you've learned in this video up until this moment. That this conditioned mind is going to keep me in this loop, not because it's a bad guy, not because it's a good guy, but because that's just what it has built to do. It's that simple. It's not to villainize the mind, it's not to lift it up, but what we have done in our society is elevate the mind. That the intelligence that the mind seemingly has is paramount. That I have to work better, do better, be harder, all these things from the level of the mind. And this feeling of being stuck is providing you the invitation to come home to the truth of who you are. As you start to see through the antics of how reality is created, how the conditioned mind is created a distortion that you are continually experiencing. And now I'm feeling stuck. I type something in on YouTube that literally allows me to come to this video. I'm now seeing something in a new way, experiencing this in a new way, while I'm hungry and desperate. If I would be honest with myself, I'm actually really hungry for the nourishment and the expansion of my own soul, of my own beingness. You might have different language for that. What do you truly want? Do you want inner peace? Do you feel this potentiality of something brewing inside of you and you just want to let it go and let it express and fully be? Because that feeling of stuck is showing you that the limitations of the conditioned mind are not true. So the feeling of stuck is showcasing there's a different way. And that different way is not going to be found in books about habits, books about rewiring your brain, books about literally stuck on just the physicality, the form, the mind-based level. If you don't go in and shift your energy, you're not going to shift your life. So when I'm saying align with truth, it's coming home to the truth of how this is all working, to pull back the veil, see what's happening inside of me as I'm literally writing this email. They don't respond. Writing this email, they do respond. I'm so excited. And then I go there and I get the interview and then I feel like I'm not enough. I feel inadequate. I'm worried. It's like, see that you have this looping looping experience that we all out here are determining as normal. It might be normative, but it's not normal. It is a product of the conditioned mind, of that looping narrative that is energetically stuck. That feeling of being stuck, it's kind of true in the sense of it's showcasing that you are stuck in that limitation. That's not what's truly available. What's truly available is the truth of who you are as awake awareness, knowing yourself as the potent potentiality of that. I am, and what I have is this body mind. What I have is a conditioning. And if that conditioning was something that I didn't used to have, and now I do have it, I think I can let it go. Oh my goodness, yes. The conditioning was there, and it doesn't have to remain. To truly see the options you have available and come into the truth of who you are. And as you're doing this, you're becoming intimate within, because we're looking for the intimacy out here. There's something in that feeling of being stuck. Really think about your situation. Is it what arrows are coming at you in such a way that you're like, no, that's not what I want, and you want to shove it away. But what is it that you want? You want to feel that deliciousness of your own soul, your own spirit, and you might not even have that clarity of the disconnection or the desire for that connection. But at the very root of it, if we keep asking questions and pull back the veil and pull back the veil, the ultimate connection is knowing the truth of who you are. Because when you are in that space, it's a completely different life altogether. Because right now we're caught up in the mind, thinking I am the mind, thinking the mind is byproducts of thoughts, thinking the emotions that are then the byproducts of the thoughts, that this is what I am, and it's not the truth of who you are. So then what are your next steps forward? Your next steps are, number one in this moment, align with truth. What is the truth? The truth is, yes, I feel stuck. Cool, that's the starting space. That's not where you have to remain, but allow whatever is true to be what is at the moment instead of shoving it away. It's a radical shift into loving what is. Because when I can start to see that there is actually nothing wrong out here, even though the mind is going to make it seem that, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. I need to fix this, fix that. I need to fix this about myself. I'm not doing this good enough. I need more of this. And it's to see those are all thought forms. They're all from the mind. And so the mind is not even going to know what to do with embodying life in a way that doesn't involve it as the primary source. That it just gets knocked down to the level of you're a tool, you're potent, you're powerful. It's kind of like I have a car, it's in the garage, it's potent and it's powerful. I'm not going anywhere right now, I don't need my car. So let it stay in the garage. Instead, you're literally sitting in the car and you're just letting it take you every single place, where, and then you're like, I wonder why I'm so confused. I wonder why I feel stuck. Like I'm in this car that's driving me everywhere, because you're in the car and it's driving you everywhere. I get to realize I get to live in this house of me with my car in the garage up here, and then I get to use it when I want to. So it takes some internal spaciousness. It takes coming home to the truth of who you are. But how can you first do that? Align with truth. I've created a powerful tool, Intimacy Within Checklist. It's simple, but it's to give you language into seeing some of the things that are happening, and the mind is buying into it. And to start to see, I am not that, but I'm going to have to get granular. I'm going to have to get granular to start to name what is really happening right here. Because I'm buying into the cloud of confusion out here, and the mind is filled with confusion. It is filled with drama. It is filled with terms. It is filled with finger pointing. But I am not that. It's to start to see the differentiation, come home to the truth of who you are, and the powerful tool of Intimacy Within Checklist, in its very simplicity, can help you start to see that and give something language as you start to tear through what is actually true. Because stuck in the conditioning of your mind is not the potent potential that you're actually here and available for. You're here for the fun, the fullness of expression, the freedom, the vitality, the peace. Whatever your specific body mind is created for, with its specificities, yes. Yes, that's why this pain is here, because the pain is always there to set you free. The entire world is set up to keep you confused, to keep you disillusioned, and to keep you in separation from the truth of who you are. And I'm inviting you to remember you, coming home to you. Biggest love, grab Intimacy Within checklist, see through the antics of your conditioned mind, and come home into truth, out of Stuckville into Expansiveville. Biggest love.